So my friend Tim's cameraman again, and now I'm just trying to tease this into place with some tweezers, and it's a bit faffy because you want it perfectly aligned, and once you've tinned the, what do you call it, the pads, they're no longer absolutely flat, which is a bit annoying. Sometimes you get it first time where they've sort of sat right, and sometimes come on, right, there we go. So if you can just, yeah, there you go, that's the technique. So you sort of drop it in, make sure that square or that dimple is at pin 1. That's the key thing. Then bring your soldering iron in. And remember, these are pre-tinned. I don't know whether to being a perfectionist actually here, because I can see some of the pads here, which means that actually, let's move it a bit that way. Yeah. Okay. And basically, you want to just not too much like that. Not a fool. That might actually have soldered that one in place. No, it's not. Might be some heavy editing that goes in after this. But this is the 4th one that I've done tonight. The 3rd one I haven't flashed yet, so I'll do 2 at a time. So yeah, just any of the corner legs, just do that, and then grab the other one, and then just sort of, not ideal. See, yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. What you've got to be careful of is to not break the legs by. Always the way when you video something, it's harder to do it, isn't it? Like performance. There's no solder there underneath. Okay, that's dropped on quite nicely. Let's try again. So I'm just trying to this one's more on the piss than the others were, but I don't know that it will matter. It will probably be good enough. So yeah, first pass, it's just at the edges of the legs, just to kind of wet the copper, wet the solder. But then the second one, you'd just go on top of the legs and push them down a little bit so that they've made good connections, because otherwise your programmer might kick up a fuss and say, I can't read the chip, as mine has done already tonight a couple of times, or maybe at least once. So I just go around with the tip of the soldering iron, pin by pin, just apply a tiny bit of pressure and a little, half a second of heat on each one. I think that'll be enough. The other thing I need to do before to both of these is to add the programming headers. So they're just 6-pin 3x2 squares. So there's one. Sorry. And there's the other. And they go upwards out of the board. So you put them in the board and then flip them like that. So put them in the board with the short pins in, the long pins out. And then just do that, and then what I would do is just making sure that you're getting the rest of them flat, like on the and then you just go and do the rest. So once one's in, it'll hold the rest in. And yeah, just make sure you don't get any cold solder joints on here, because again, the programmer might not thank you for it. So those two there have already been flashed, but that one and this one I'm about to do, which I've just dropped the pins out of. Try that again. Put it in there, put it down the board. And I think there's a practice element of this. If I was doing the next 29 of these, which I've got left, I'll probably do them in one big batch and get quicker and quicker. But when you only do 4 at a time, it's slow going. I think the thing with doing things in batches is just do one job at a time, you know. Oh, that's not. Don't like the look of those, but strange, isn't it? You see that light? It's not really wicked like the others have. I don't know why. I'm sure that's fine, but it doesn't look as good. Right, so now I'll take these over to, in fact, if you cut and then